Hey all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is Cougar Afterthought Show. Galen Robinson's down there, Starnes is over there. We're going to give everybody just a minute to catch up because, people are still getting here. Uh, you know what we can do? We can add Fancy Kelvin's audio. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. It's starting to fill up. There we go. I'm going to add something Kelvin said in the video.
Good
And
old
then
Kelvin.
good old Kelvin. You know, he comes to all these games. Front row. Front row, right. I mean, when you
Front
have seats
row,
like
right
that, you got to
there.
come.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, let's do this. I'm going to mute that. Okay, guys, thank you. Welcome to Cougar Afterthought Show. U of H wins 81-42. Penn turned it over 22 times. They had a rough go of it at the beginning. U of H clamped down. They missed some shots. It was 18-0 at one point,
Yeah.
and U of H was in control the whole way. Starnes said something before the game. Penn will probably lead 12-5, and I was like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen because we've seen that many times this year. That didn't happen today.
Mhm.
Cougs just annihilated them. And Galen, what are your first thoughts of what you saw?
Just like you guys said, 12-5, that probably, would be indicative of a different game. But, you get it's the last game before conference play. So these guys, they obviously know the severity. Obviously, Coach Sampson. And obviously, that team, they had good guards. I
Mm-hmm.
think their top three or top four had double figures on the road against Kentucky. So it's like they're really good players. But obviously, what's at stake is our first season in the Big 12. So we obviously, Coach Sampson, I just know he has an extra chip on his shoulder. He feels that he has a lot to prove, and that's going to be passed on to the guys.
You mean in the conference?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Starnes, what about you?
Yeah, this was another sort of game where the Cougars sort of flexed on defense. I mean, it was 17. They allowed 17 points in the first half. They allowed less than 20 in both halves against Texas State. They did it earlier. They did it a few times earlier this year, allowing less than 20 and a half. And just immediately, it was apparent that Penn wasn't going to be able to do anything. Their big man Spinoza, who they like to get going in terms of the passing game and things like that. He just had a
7 turnovers.
nightmare of a night, 7 turnovers,
I
and
swear it was a lot more turnovers than that.
it felt
Every
like it.
time he
Felt like
touched
it
the
for
ball
sure.
early, he turned it over. It felt like.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the only shots that they were making were threes, and some more open than others. But past that, I mean, the first half just total dominance on the defensive end, and
Hmm.
just one of many so far this year.
Yeah, they definitely seemed. They definitely seemed a bit rattled. But one thing that I heard I think one of the announcers say, he was like, obviously everybody knows conference play is coming up, and the players know that too. And Coach Sampson, his message was, be where your feet are. And it's like I get that, but you want your feet to be facing the direction that you're walking in. You know what I'm saying? So you still want to play well. And I thought this game was a big game for our bench depth to get some
mhm.
confidence. With J1 out, you wanted guys like Malik, Damian, Ramon. You wanted those guys to have confidence building games going into conference play because you never know what could happen.
Yeah. Uh, let's talk about Jawan missing this game. I talked to him right after the game. He said it was pretty much precautionary. He's going to wait till conference play. He told us that he's got some pain, especially when he pushes off, and that's just going to happen. It's going to happen all year, and in a different way. It's going to be kind of like Reggie was last year. where you're just going to have to play through some
Mhm.
severe pain. Uh, you hope that Jawan can play major minutes, but you don't know. And
Mhm.
you lost Terrence Arsenault and sort of Jawan in the same week, and that's rough. And Jawan's obviously he's going to play, but you don't know if he's going to be the guy that he's been for the last couple of years.
I think that the first conference game is on the 6th, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
next
So
Saturday.
it's like, yeah, so I'm sure they'll probably have tomorrow off, maybe a light practice the following day. And with our coaching staff and our head athletic trainer John Houston, I feel like he'll be close to 100% when it's time for the first conference game.
Yeah, he told me this week in our interview that he had his knee drained again after Texas State before he left for Christmas. Uh, so I don't know what that means. Like if you keep having it done, is that worse or is it better? I'm not sure. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, Galen is wearing his Houston versus everyone in his Cougar blue, whatever you call this color. I don't even know. The NFL is
Love
not
blue,
watching.
love
Love
blue.
blue.
Yeah.
If you see on the screen, Ramon and Emmanuel Sharp both in there,
Oh yeah.
love blue. I also changed. I couldn't wear this during the game or post game. I washed it last night because I had it on. I was at BB's and people were coming up to me like, "Where can I get that?" I'm like, "Well, there's this guy Galen. He's got a shop." And so I washed it, and I didn't dry it because I think it's kind of heavy. You don't want to dry it, and so I air dried it, and it's still a little wet. Uh, so if I have
Damn,
the
man,
flu,
you wearing damp
it's
clothes?
just kind of in the
Damn,
wrist. Uh, Yeah, here I am.
damn, man.
Uh, so let's talk about some of the individual performances tonight. Uh, I really felt like LJ Cryer was everywhere. He ended up with 16 points and 4 assists. Five guys in double figures. Yeah,
Mm.
with Dunn, Sharp, Tugler, career high for Tugler. LJ and Jamal had 14. Uh, Emmanuel Sharp's day was kind of interesting to me. He was 5 of 10 from the floor. Uh, he finished. He went to the bucket and finished. Did we lose Starnes? Starnes
Mm.
left. Bye, Starnes. Uh, what do you think about what Emmanuel is showing you game after game?
I feel like he's on the cusp of developing into a high level, consistent scorer.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, we saw flashes of it against A&M. Obviously, that was a high octane game, and to be able to have games like that against teams like that, that's a good sign. It kind of reminds me of Rob. Whenever I was a freshman, he was a sophomore, and our first kind of big Power Five game was against LSU, and he had 30.
Mm-hmm.
And what he ended up being, it's kind of I get those similar vibes from him. So I'm definitely excited for Emmanuel's development because he's definitely a microwave. One of those guys who, if he sees one go, in the basket, you might see five, maybe six more. So it can happen that fast.
I do not like this guy. We're going to ban him, I think. Let me start that. What does that mean?
Wetness is
Uh,
coming. Pause. Yo, hey, yo. That's a good
uh,
little subtitle you got there, man. Good
yeah,
looking,
good
Galen.
looking Galen.
I appreciate it, man. I
Woo!
appreciate it.
Lost their best player early in the game to injury, and he was out. His leg was splayed up on the bench. Uh, I think they were calling him Slayer Chet. I can't pronounce it, so I made a little. We could
Yeah.
just put it there. I don't know. There's consonants that should not go together, like J and C. Uh, so
Yeah.
I think they actually played better after he went out. Uh, they were not getting great shots when he was in, and they they really did a much better job of playing within themselves. U of H was 12 of 21 on layups tonight. Galen, is there a number that a team strives for layup wise? Is it 60%, 70%?
Obviously, a layup aside from a dunk is the highest percentage shot you can get. So
Yeah.
the goal is to try to make is close to 100%, and 12-21. A lot of those were contested that I've seen. They were kind of off balance, kind of
Yeah.
rushed. Very makeable shots. So I don't feel like there's any. I don't feel like there's any true area of concern there.
No. How does that get better? Is it just setting yourself or making better passes? You're the point guard.
No, I mean, I'd say it's just being human. Sometimes you just miss layups. And it's like a night like tonight. I think we shot like probably 50 something percent from the free throw line, but Malik made 4 of 4. So it's just it's just one of those things that if it happens sometimes from time to time, but I don't know. I don't think it's an area of concern.
And I think also just the way this team rebounds offensively, you can afford a little downtick in terms of layup percentage if you're rebounding them and putting them back up.
Yeah,
for sure. You had 19 offensive boards tonight. So you missed 34 shots. You rebounded 19 of them. That's not so bad.
Not so bad at all. It's actually
really elite, actually.
It's very elite. Very, 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 very elite for sure.
So this team goes into conference play at 13-0. It's very clear you're going to lose games in this conference, right?
Absolutely.
And you're going to lose a lot. It's not going to be like the American when you run through it. Yeah, you're going to face some adversity, and it's going to start Saturday against West Virginia, who's a very good team. They went through a coaching change in the offseason, and you never know what that's going to look like. But you're going to lose games. I think a successful season in the Big 12 could be 11-7. And if you're 11-7, you end up 24-7, and you're a 1, 2, 3 seed in that range, especially with the strength of the schedule that you're going to play. And I say that to lead into this from Kelvin. This was from the post game, and I just want to share this because this is something we're going to talk about nonstop from here on out. Is Kelvin says at the end of this, you want to recruit players that you know you can lose with, not recruit players you know you can win with, because everybody can win, but can your guys lose? Check this out.
You're going to lose 5, 6, 7 games. And as long as you keep your team prepared, get ready for the next one, and have good kids. Good kids handle adversity really good. And we've really zeroed in our recruiting with evaluation. We don't really recruit in the pure sense of it. We evaluate. But some of you guys get to know our kids and you realize how good at kids we are. Well, we knew that. We knew that the first time we met them, which is probably years and years before you ever met them. Like Ramon. I remember going over to Shadow Creek, Capital Center, watching Ramon. Damien. We interrogated the people in Damien's life at Temple, whether it was Coach McKee, some of the assistant coaches, people at the university. Because we can't allow anybody to come in here and mess with our culture. And there is nobody bigger than this program. So it's really important for a coach at this level to recruit a kid that you can lose with.
Galen, what do you think about what you just heard? I'm sure you've heard it before.
Yeah. It's definitely valuable, being able to, like, that being his mindset, because obviously you're going to lose when you're playing at this high of a level.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of times, losers or low character, players or recruits, they don't respond to adversity well. And in a season that is for sure going to have adversity. You have to have people who are able to withstand that and be able to respond to it whenever times aren't always, peachy green and all that stuff. So you got to be able to have high character, prideful guys who take value in the right things, who are coachable, and it's definitely going to help your program.
This week in practice, Kelvin said something I think I've heard before, but he said anybody can be a good player on a bad team. And what you have here are good players on a great team and guys who are good players who are willing to accept a role, the culture, right? How big a deal is that to find people that are willing to accept their place in a team? And then as a player, are you policing that? Are you saying, we all have our role and we all need to work towards this common goal?
I feel like as far as the player aspect, you kind of you know everybody, you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, and you're going to try to, or at least as a point guard, like I say, like for me, it's more so about helping you magnify your strengths and helping, and while also making sure you stay away from your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So, and in terms of being a good player on a great team is like great teams. All the players have to sacrifice to some degree. But what you realize is the more team success that you guys have, the more individual success that you'll have as well. And I feel like that's something that a lot of good teams understand. And as far as the bad teams, good players on bad teams, it's kind of, it's kind of meaningless in a sense, So that's my opinion.
Aren't you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think there's a difference between playing well or getting good stats and playing winning basketball. I feel like, and the emphasis around this team, this program is playing winning basketball, and it doesn't matter what the stats are. A guy like LJ Cryer could maybe score 20 a game somewhere, and shoot 20 some shots a game or 17 shots a game. But here, he's playing winning basketball. He's maybe scoring less, but he's impacting the game. He's impacting winning more than he would somewhere else if he had transferred somewhere else. And that's something he learned at Baylor, as I assume as well. But that's sort of same thing with Marcus Sasser last year. He could have averaged however many a game, but at U of H, his ability to impact winning, not only helped him as a player win, that Jerry West award, but also his draft stock, along with just the team itself.
Marcus got a win tonight in Detroit, which
it's
been 2 months.
It's gotta feel like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, good for them. Yay, NBA talk. Galen, who, in your opinion, had a good game tonight? Who stood out?
JoJo. And I say it because he plays well organically. And what I mean by that is like he just does his job. And he's in the right, the basketball guys have a way of rewarding you. He's in the right place at the right time. He impacts the game with his activity and his, just being active on the ball and just being kind of in a sense reckless. And he got rewarded for it tonight. He got found on a couple slips to the basket. And I was very glad that he was able to have the game that he had with J1 out, because that was a guy that we needed to step up, to have confidence going into conference play, let alone as a freshman. So I feel like that'll definitely help our team going forward.
If you were scouting and putting a game plan together against U of H with a limited Jawan, you're attacking JoJo and Javier to make them prove themselves, right?
You can try.
Yeah.
You can try, but I don't, it's a prideful group of guys over there. And I don't know if you single-handedly thinking that you're going to overpower a particular matchup. I don't know if that's your sole game plan. Good luck. And
Okay.
I hope that's what people try. I hope that your whole game plan is based on you going. Like I hope that's your whole game plan because it's not going to end well for you, brother. It
So
ain't.
what's your game plan if you're going against this team?
What's my game plan? You
Yeah.
want me to say that live? I mean,
Well, I don't think we're going to say anything that an opposing coach is going to be like, "Oh shit, I didn't even think of that."
yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I just know we have a tendency to foul in the second half, at least to start. You know, that's kind of how teams get rolled in the second half. But other than that, I mean, we're a great transition defensive team. Every shot that goes up, we contest. It's not. It'll probably have to be a matchup that you might have to seek out. But even then, I don't know if that's going to end well for you. So I can't really. Everybody on the team can make a shot. So it's. I mean, your best bet is probably, according to how the season's going now, is to foul us and hope we miss free throws. But even
You
then, I
got a
still
good
wouldn't.
shot.
I mean, even then, I wouldn't bet all my money on that. Absolutely not. So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Okay,
I think
that's
this
fair.
year's team, last year it was kind of obvious against Alabama, against Miami, that if you ran on this team, if you were able to get out and run, if you were able to spread them out, they were going to have trouble getting those rebounds, especially those long rebounds on threes. I think this year's team is a better rebounding team, and so that they're able to, when a team does spread them out, they're able to get those rebounds and they're able to punish the team going smaller or something like that a little bit better. And the transition defense, I think this year has just been incredible.
Yeah. And I will say with this team that we haven't even seen Damian Dunn come out of his shell.
Yeah.
And it's like there's gonna be a game this year where it might seem like we're hopeless to win, and he just does something heroic. Like I watched him against us when he was at Temple. I know what type of pedigree of a guy he is, and I know how easily he can take over a game. And it's only a matter of time before all of us see it as well.
So Galen, since we got you right here,
Mm-hmm.
you've got these hoodies and you're giving one away tonight.
Yeah, I'm giving that. It's giving away two, actually. Yeah, giving away two. Yeah, two.
Well, I have a
So,
much better chance.
Yeah,
Must be present to win. And by present, I mean on the screen.
Nah, I mean, yeah, Ryan, I can tell you for sure you lost, brother. You lost.
Okay, that was Galen Robinson. Thank you so much for being here, Galen. We're going to do that in just a little bit.
Okay.
No,
cool.
You're not doing that now. So we do not have a sponsor for this show going into the Big 12. We're going into 2024 with no basketball sponsor for the podcast or for the content on Go Cougs. So we have this little ad to get you, dear viewer, and your company to help us out. So anytime you just want to do that, go ahead. Stop talking, Galen. Say nothing. I think that is probably the best comment. I'm starring this comment. I don't know what that does, but we're starring this comment. I thought Malik had a really solid game. Did a lot of good things while he was on the floor.
Me too.
I think Malik is coming around. I still don't think he's ever going to pass the ball to Ryan Elvin, but I think he's coming around.
Yeah, he's for sure coming. He just looks like he's getting more comfortable and more almost like he's more sure of himself.
For sure.
He's making like he's kind of playing at his own pace, and I can see like how he doesn't look as rushed, So he's definitely. I'm sure he's definitely been having great practices, and it's showing.
So when you say he's looking better as a point guard, what does that mean exactly? What are you seeing?
He just looks like he's just comfortable. Like nobody is making him do anything that he truly doesn't want to do. He just looks like he's just sure of what he's gonna do. He's just kind of,
Okay.
it's not premeditated. It's more so just taking what the game gives him. And there's a couple of, he pass it, get off it, cut. He curled for a nice little mid-range fadeaway that he made. One of them he missed, but one of them, and it's just like that was a confident shot, and it looked like he should make it. So
Yeah.
it's just like he just definitely looks a lot more comfortable and just a lot more just confident.
Here's the thing. A year ago, no one's would have said Malik's shot is a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
No
it
one's
looks
saying
up.
that.
Yeah, but I can tell you one thing for sure: he has definitely been working.
Yeah.
Definitely been working.
I mean, it just looks completely different.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
difference in me shooting and you shooting, basically. Because I mean, he was kind of lost a year ago,
yeah,
and now it's looking pretty good.
and
We're
that's
gonna just
just
put
that's
this
just
back.
like a that's just a that's just confidence. When you second guess yourself, it you can convince yourself that you can't do anything. But when you're confident, you put in the work. It shows that it just automatically translates to you just looking more comfortable because you know that you've earned the right to do whatever you choose to do.
Yeah, for sure. Starnes?
Ryan, we've seen Malik work on that little short mid range
We
sort of
have.
pull up, and I mean since then he's been hitting those pretty well. He hit a couple today. I mean, and he just has a nice sort of within the free throw line kind of game. I feel like,
Yeah,
and with
super
Damian,
athletic.
yeah, oh yeah, and with Damian, I think the thing that he's been struggling with is his rebounds and defense, and
Keep going.
okay. And he had a better game today. He wasn't perfect, but 6 rebounds, 5 in the first half. And his offensive game, I think his offensive game I think is really valuable because he's one of those guys that's able to draw contact. And
Yeah, for sure.
if another team is on a run or starting to get on a run, him being able to get the ball, back someone down, draw contact, get free throws, it's really a big deal. And once he sort of gets going, I think that'll come up big in spots.
He's definitely the type of guy that can get the opposing team's best wing player in foul trouble.
Yeah.
2 fouls, and it's just got to go to the bench for the rest of the first half. He's definitely one of those types of guys because he's definitely a super strong kid, and he's a little bigger than he looks. If that makes sense. Pause.
Yeah.
Big pause.
The music for that ad sounded like it was from old school Zelda. So, this guy's name is Diego. He is wonderful. He's a teacher in HISD. That is a generic version of Zelda, not really Zelda, but yeah, that's what we're going for. Just to give you a little something different. It's definitely like a Nintendo NES kind of feel. Starnes, you can read about that in a history book, but yeah, that is what that was.
I like Zelda.
Okay. I mean, I played Zelda when the people were just squares, and probably a little different now with you kids and your video games. I don't know who Gwen is, but Gwen, thank you so much.
Damn, her name has no vowels.
Well, sometimes why, Galen?
Nah, brother.
I don't know if they taught that at Lutheran North.
Yeah, I ain't going to Lutheran North. It's AEIOU. Sometimes why, man.
And sometimes why, but
Jesus Christ.
Sometimes, well, I don't think he had anything to do with it. So when are you going to get these hoodies or other hoodies for U of H fans back in stock and to sell?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Subscribe to the website that you see right next to Ramon, and you will receive a nice email, and boom, we'll get you taken care of.
I'm going to tell you, I saw probably 30 people in the arena, and I was taking pictures and sending them to you. You had former football players. Kyle Ramsey was in the house early on before the game and had his on. Kyle did not play at U of H this year. He went to Abilene Christian was an All-American in FCS. Just had a fantastic year. U of H could have used Kyle
Mr.
Ramsey. We
Ramsey.
wrote
Yeah.
about that 3 or 4 times this year. Would have been helpful, but guess Dana learned.
Hey, Ryan, how do you like the satin in the? How do you like it?
That was the thing that worried me about drying it, because I'm not a, I'm not a,
Ah,
I'm not a, and you didn't have instructions inside. Usually I read those in Spanish.
it'll be good, brother. It'll be
Yeah.
good. It'll
So
be
I
good.
do like it. It's
Yeah.
a nice.
Don't
You can
you?
see
Don't
there.
you? It's like,
Yeah.
bro,
I'm
it's
gonna I'm
it's
gonna
just
show you here. We're gonna get it big, and then it's a nice satin look and feel
oh
to it. I'm gonna just put it on. I look like
yeah.
the lamest white guy you've ever met, but no, I really do like. Starnes, you're not supposed to nod your head. That's not nice. Uh, they're really great. It's very comfortable. Like it's a heavier than I normally wear, but
It's called
it
quality,
feels.
man. You know what I'm saying? Quality. Ryan, say it
I
with
think
me.
it came from Pakistan, Galen. So let's
Quality,
back down on the quality.
quality. Yes, sir.
And you got your label in here, and that looked really cool. Uh,
I appreciate that,
I read the instructions to everything,
Cap.
and that is a fault of mine. Uh, let's talk about Caleb Holt. Caleb Holt was here today. He is the number 3 player in the class of 2026, which I believe makes him a sophomore. The math is a little hazy for me at this point. And he's the number 1 small forward in that class. He's in Alabama. Galen he's in Indianapolis right now, but he plays in Birmingham. We are going to send Galen to Huntsville,
Oh yeah, for
or
sure.
if
On a
that guy,
mission.
if Caleb comes to Birmingham, that would be even better to play. We're going to figure that out. And Galen is going to be our number 1 scout in the Caleb Holt department. Holt is getting attention from everybody, but made a point to come here and was at this game tonight. I'm going to tell you a little something that I saw after the game, after the press conference. Kelvin Sampson walked into the Legends Club. He walked out of the press conference, and I was right behind him, just how I was sitting or where I was sitting.
Mm.
And he walked into the Legends Club, and Caleb Holt was standing right at the door. And Kelvin gave him a bit, did the bro hug thing that I don't do, and looked at him and said, "That's what we do." And Kelvin is not a person to go in glad hand after a game typically, but he was in there talking with the family, talking with Caleb Holt. Kellen and Anthony Goldwire were in there talking with the family, and Kellen and Anthony are never in there. So they're putting the full court press on this guy. He's got years before he decides, and they've got years to evaluate him. And I want to ask you about that. Your first contact with these guys were probably right after they were hired, is what I'm guessing, or in that summer after they were hired.
Yeah, it was in that summer. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they
I remember
started
that like it was
evaluating.
yesterday. Wow.
They evaluated you, but they
Mhm.
also evaluated your family and then the people around you, right?
Yeah.
Like they wanted to know about you, but they also wanted to know about your situation
Mhm.
and the people around you. So what do you remember about that, about the early days of recruiting and what that was like with assistant coaches and with also Kelvin?
I remember we had two tournaments and it was one weekend it was in Houston. I think the next one was in Dallas. And I remember Coach Sampson, we were playing the Houston Hoops. I think they had De'Aaron Fox, Jaron Vanderbilt, Christian James. You know, like they had all the top kids in Houston. A couple of their guys are in the NBA today. You know, so very, very high level game. And on my team, we had Jared Allen, who plays currently with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of other, guys who went on to play college basketball and still playing professionally. So we were definitely the underdogs, obviously going into that game. And I just remember us coming out like beating the shit out of them. Like beat them like they stole something. Like it was crazy. And then I remember looking at Coach Sampson, seeing he had on, like I recognized the U of H logo everywhere because obviously that's where my dad went. So whenever I see it, like when I was in high school, I was like, it got my attention. And I was aware that they had went under a coaching change. So, and I was aware that he was the coach and how people felt about, how his coaching, he's definitely a respected guy. And I think the next weekend we had a tournament in the Duncanville Fieldhouse. Not sure who he played against, but I remember playing super well. And then he offered me. And he was like, well, I would have offered you after y'all beat the Hoops, but I had to see if you could do it again. And then from that point on, it was like every time he and I had a conversation, he always opened my mind to something. Like he always enlightened my perspective, it seems like. He's just a tremendous teacher. And he's one of those guys, he just doesn't tell you what's going to happen. Like he shows you why and how it's going to happen. He has a plan in place behind his words, and that's what makes him, who he is.
Okay. I have a question.
Damn, that was kind of long-winded for real. Shit.
It is. Are you in the bathroom?
I am.
Okay.
It's the best life.
Because the hook's behind.
Yeah, the best life, man.
Okay.
I couldn't be out here looking dim. You know what I'm saying?
Are you drinking wine out of the bottle? Are you done?
Out of a glass. Yeah, I'm done.
Look at you. You got fancy. Yeah. So if you're drinking wine in the bathroom, that is a
no, not in the bathroom. No, I'm just saying before we went on it. Yeah, I was definitely sipping for sure. Watching
that would have been a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Drinking wine in the bathroom, but there you see the hooks on the door, and then over his right shoulder.
Damn, Ryan, you ain't gotta bring light to it, brother.
Well, I'm just, you can tell where I am. Starnes is, I don't even know where he's in the press box. And then you're in the bathroom. So it's almost all the same. So Caleb Holt is a big deal, and they're definitely going to go after that guy. I am interested in what's going to happen there. But he made a trip. And this is because he's a sophomore. This is an unofficial visit. He can't make, I don't think they changed that rule. They changed all the others about official visits, but I don't think he can make an official. So this is on his own dime.
Yeah.
So
I think you said because he's a sophomore, they're going to have a long time to evaluate him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with him being number 3 already, he's going to have a long time to get better.
Yeah,
and he's probably still growing. I think he's what 6'5", 6'6".
6'5", yeah.
Yeah, so he's not done growing yet. He's not done developing, and I'm sure he's a talented kid. I haven't seen him, but if you mix whatever talent he has with the culture and our coaching staff and their how they do things, that's a winning recipe.
I read an article about him, and it was an interview, and he said that he wanted to go somewhere where they could develop him. And that's music to the ears of this staff, and especially Kelvin. They want guys who want to be developed, who want to be coached and coached hard. And, it's at the beginning for you. Obviously, they're recruiting you, and but they're also telling you it's going to be hard, right? They're not lying about it. They're giving you from day one that this is going to be difficult.
But it's just what they like when you're telling a high school kid that something's going to be difficult, they have no idea what difficult means. Like you think it's just, they say it's going to be difficult, but it's really going to be light. Nah, that is probably going to be the hardest thing that you do in your life, for sure. For sure.
Okay, good comment there, Starnes. Liked what you added. So why don't you go ahead and do your giveaway? Let's do the first one right now. Give one away. Because there's 2.
It's kind of like
and it's not me.
It's going to be whoever it was and their friend. So if I give one away, it's going to be
okay. Okay.
Why
is it their friend?
You and your partner that y'all eat. So that's the rules were comment
Oh yeah.
and
So
tag,
you had
yeah,
to
and
tag a
sub
friend. That's what it
yeah,
was.
yeah, exactly,
So I
exactly.
tagged Dr. Couture in
Yeah,
mine.
she didn't participate. So therefore,
Oh, she had to
couldn't.
participate.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think
yeah,
she's here now.
yeah,
We're gonna have to
yeah.
have a talk.
Shout out to Renu. She ruined your chances.
She really did.
Uh-huh. So
That's
I
strike
guess
one.
do I announce him now or
That's whatever you want to do.
damn, this is a big deal. I'm announcing shit on air. This is
It's
crazy.
really not a big deal, Galen. I don't
Yeah,
want you to get your hopes up.
it's a big deal to me, Ryan.
Okay,
But
that's cool.
the winners are no drum roll, please.
You're not getting one.
On Twitter, also known as X, at Trevor _Stall, and at JAXNNNN _, 4 N's. I guess his name is Jackson or Jason. So
Okay.
those are the two winners. Merry Christmas.
I had a class with Trevor just this past semester. That's fun.
Damn, small world.
Wow.
Yeah, my boy just came up on some nice gear, man. Nice gear.
Congratulations, Trevor.
So how does
Congratulations, Trevor.
So
Congratulations.
you're gonna get in contact with these people and get them their hoodies. Expect it to be about 6 months, guys. There's a little lag time.
Good one. Good one.
But Galen told us it would be ready for Christmas, and they were ready for Christmas. Galen hand delivered mine, which I was not expecting. I thought he'd ship it, but he brought it to the house, and I've never had service quite like that, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Setting a high standard, man. You know.
It is substantial, is what it is.
Absolutely.
And so tomorrow, there will be these hoodies available or something else?
Those hoodies, yeah. You know, the thing that I've noticed that people do, like the people who are hesitant to buy it at first, whenever the first drop gets shipped out and they see how good they look on other people, then they want to come, you know, so that's, you got to do kind of multiple, shipments and whatnot. That's what I've learned.
So, and everybody knows, I'm not going to kiss your ass. It's just not who I am. But these are nice. These are
I
comfortable.
appreciate that.
They are nice. They look good. I feel good. I feel pretty. Not pretty. I'm not good looking, Galen. But they are nice. Are you going to do any other colors again? Like this stitching is fantastic. And I think if you get
Ryan.
this, yeah,
hey,
no, it's great.
Stars, you should tap in, bro. You should tap in. I'm digging.
I feel
I'm
left
digging
out.
the
Yeah.
olive. I'm digging
All right,
the
Starnes.
olive, but you know
Starnes, we're getting you. I'm gonna buy him one. So we're gonna get him one, and I'm gonna get another one.
Hey, Ryan,
so I need two.
You ain't even bought yours yet, Ryan.
I didn't pay for it.
Absolutely not.
I'll get that to you tonight. I feel like I keep paying for things, but I'll definitely do that. That's not a problem.
My dog, man. My dog. Yeah. But we gotta get Starnes right, man. We're gonna get him
right.
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get you laced up, Starnes. I don't know what that means, but we're gonna get it.
Hey, Starnes, are you on the gram, bro, on Twitter or X?
Yes. It's just my name.
Right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Starnes Leland. I've never met anybody named Starnes.
You never will again.
My boy is unique. Hey, I ain't never met nobody named Galen. You know what I'm saying? Besides my father, but
yeah.
Anyone
so the
else.
first person you ever met was named Galen, but you've never met anybody named Galen. Got it. You can't get that. You can't get that insight anywhere else other than right here.
Damn, brought to you by nobody.
Yeah. We'll do this again. Somebody just texted me. They wanted it again. I am delinquent on my hoodie payments. Please help. Just sponsor the show so I can pay for a hoodie that I thought I had paid for. Okay, let's get some more comments, and then we're going to go. Did CKS say anything about the weird play with Francis laying on the ball?
He did.
He did. He wanted the rebounding number and wouldn't have given it up if the CIA. He actually said FBI. He said FBI. I remember that. I wasn't really listening, but I did listen to that. Do you have hoodies for the ladies? Is it all one, like just a hoodie, or is there a women's and a men's?
No, it's all a hoodie, but it's whatever size you wear, you should be able to fit it.
But I think she's talking about like a cut. And I don't know anything about this, but I think she's talking about like.
I feel like that's tricky because, a lot of our beautiful women are, built differently, and, therefore the cuts may be, so I leave that up to whoever wants to cut them. And I don't really,
just tie it up in the back.
You know
like
what I'm saying?
A scrunchie or something.
You know what I'm saying? Get creative,
But we love Gwen. I love Gwen.
Absolutely.
That hoodie would be a perfect resting place for your mullet.
Facts.
Don't have the mullet anymore.
Facts. What
Haven't
year
had
did
it in
you
a
cut it
while.
off?
I know when we moved to Texas for the first time, I had it. And then it became like a ducktail. Do you know what that is? Just like a little piece in the back. I didn't like that either.
That's
and then
terrible.
Thank you. It really was. It was awful. And I hated it. And my mother actually just asked me about it. Like, she watches these shows. She really likes Starnes. She really likes Galen.
What's up, Mama? What's up, Mama? How you doing?
She loves Brad Towns, which I don't understand at all. But I was like, okay, and what about me? And she's like, eh. But she loved that terrible hair, and not me as much. But yeah. So Galen, your final thoughts about what you saw tonight. And I say final thoughts, but we'll probably be on for another hour because that's how this goes.
I'm glad that JoJo was able to have a good game. Malik, Ramon, Damian, especially heading into what we have, ahead of us. And I think I remember hearing that. I think they said it's a common feeling amongst the team that our offense isn't where it needs to be, but it's just funny guy.
Who Starnes is the one that tweeted that out. He was there with Jamal. That was when I was talking to Jawan for our interview, and Jamal said the offense, I think, sucked, is what he said, and it's been stagnant. It has been bad. It was better tonight.
Yeah, but I just personally, I just feel like it's better to have that issue than the contrary. Because if that Penn team, I think they averaged 81 points. If that team would have scored 75, 80 points, that would have been a bigger red flag than us scoring,
for sure.
Whatever, So we know that our offense is going to pick up, but our defensive foundation being established and something that we can hang our hat on night in and night out in the Big 12, I feel like that is something to be proud of.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. There is a comment here this is a fascinating question. Galen, what does a baller like you do on New Year's Eve?
Well, I will be in Grand Rapids in a hotel room, sipping wine. Can't beat that with a bat.
Grand Rapids. So what is their team? Yeah, it's something weird.
It's Grand Rapids Gold. It's the Nuggets. G League
that
team.
ain't it. Yeah. That's not what I was thinking.
But
what is the Indianapolis team?
Indiana Mad Ants. We played against Jared last night.
Yeah.
Man, my God.
Y'all did not shoot very well. Yeah.
We shot good, but they shot better.
Well, I'm thinking of the kid from Memphis. Terrible. You don't have to say anything. I can say it.
I'm just trying to think who's from Memphis.
Landon Nolly.
Oh, you're talking about.
But he may have gone somewhere else too. He may have went to Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
I don't remember.
Cincinnati. Yeah, that's my dog though. That's my dog. But
yeah,
Jared's though.
You and him have a good time in Grand Rapids.
We play cards like every night. Me and Landis be kicking it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Do you share rooms in the G League, or do you have your own?
Hell no. Got your own room.
That's good.
Great.
Galen's wine of choice is whatever he can get to sip out of the bottle.
I mean, that's all of them then.
Yeah.
That's what you meant, I guess.
When we were
But,
kids,
me-
it was Boone's Farm. Do you drink that?
Respectfully, I've never heard of that in my life.
You got it in
But,
a convenience store, not in a wine store. Yeah.
With the wine of choice, I'd have to say I like a dry red. Typically that's but I'm trying to branch out. Try like Chardonnays and the Blancs and whatnot. So yeah, but the
Blancs
dry,
and whatnot.
yeah, but the dry reds are definitely my wine of choice for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm a Blanc, but I don't drink wine. I just think this gets gross. Starnes, you're not a wine guy, I don't think. Yeah.
Damn, wine.
So,
Stars, what you be drinking, bro?
nothing.
I don't. Yeah, I don't drink.
Damn,
I
I
try
gotta
not
be
to drink.
drinking water on the rocks. Love that.
Yes,
for
sir. Water, Body Armor, Gatorade.
you.
He just
Yeah.
called you sir, and I don't. That's weird. I like the box kind.
Yeah, the
Yeah, you
box
put it
kind
right in the
is-
fridge.
Yeah, the box kind is solid for sure. Shout out to Newt, man. He's the bomb. Yes, sir.
Starnes, what did you think about what you saw tonight? Final thoughts.
Again, it was another sort of showing of just how good this defense is. And with the offense, what Jamal said last week is, it's an improvement. I think you saw good things with Juwan out, specifically with JoJo Tugler. I think you saw an improved game from Damian Dunn. And then Malik Wilson. So I think you saw the right things from the right guys. And so it's just a good sort of almost a bit of a statement to sort of end non-conference play and undefeated as well.
Right.
I thought there were times tonight where Kelvin was a little trigger happy with Damian and Emmanuel Sharp. They make a mistake, Emmanuel on defense or whatever, and yank, and the other would go in, and then they'd make a mistake and yank. And I think, Galen, from your experience, is that frustration? Is it sending a message, or is it I'm going to get somebody in there that's going to make the plays?
It's sending a message because we're going to need both of those guys. And a lot of times they're going to be on the floor at the same time in order for us to win. But I feel like he's just trying to emphasize what they were making mistakes on and how in Big 12 play, you probably won't be able to make those mistakes and win by 10, 20 points because, the level of play is just through the roof. So those guys are obviously big. They're invaluable to our success and us winning and, especially advancing in March. So they have to understand the importance of what's being emphasized as well as the importance of the details.
Damian and Emmanuel were on the floor a little at the same time tonight. It also happened against Texas State. I don't remember that happening early in the season. Do either of y'all remember that in the first 10 games or so?
I can't recall. I mean, not that it happened, but it's like I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't think it's really started until this month. I think they did it against A&M for a little bit as well, or maybe Texas State.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So I guess that's going to be it. We did 50 some odd minutes. You gave 2 hoodies away. We hopefully sold a few more. You're going to have that. What time tomorrow? You've got a game.
Yeah, we play early, but to everyone who's subscribed, I'll send out an email and they'll be able to, shop early before the public because I'm going to try to make it, a smaller number of hoodies that are being sold so we can get them shipped out faster. So, but yeah, so if you're subscribed, you're definitely going to get a head start.
I think you just need to sell as many as you can because people want this.
Yeah, but it's just like I'm not trying to have people waiting, because
I get it.
So it's a pick a battle.
Yeah, so here's what you do. You go to onesubstantial.com. The website, you just put your email address in.
And that's it.
That's it. And
that's
you wait for Galen
it's free.
to email you.
It's free. It's free, And look what you're gonna get. You're gonna
What do
get
you mean? What's free?
signing up.
Putting your email address in is free. Got it. Wow,
Yeah.
what a deal.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That is a
What a
deal.
deal. What a deal.
But go there. I was showing a guy last night in the restaurant at BB's how to do this. Like, hey, just put your email address in and you're good. And I don't know that registered with him 100%. So I'm not your best salesman, but put your email address in and Galen he's not going to spam you. He's just going to send you stuff when he's got stuff to sell.
Exactly. You know.
And it's good quality stuff. And I'm not surprised by it, but I'm pleased by it. The Cougars win in a boat race by 39 points. You're going into conference play now. You got 18 wars. Starting
Ooh.
Saturday, you have
Damn.
in 8 days, you have West Virginia at home. You go to Ames, Iowa to play a very good Iowa State team. And then you come home and then you go back out on the road to TCU. It's coming fast. And it is going to be a lot different than it's been the last month, where you've played one leisurely game every weekend, have a few days off. It's not that way in this league. You have, I believe, 10 weeks for 18 games. You have a 1 week or a 1 game week. And then later in the season, you have another. I think it's the last game. The Kansas game is, but then you go right into conference tournament play. So
Damn,
it ain't gonna.
brutal.
There's no let up.
Shit.
And you're getting what you saw in the American with Memphis every game, which was a war. That's what you're getting.
It was a war and their Super
game.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them, though. Those fellas, they got the last laugh there in the conference tournament, and Marcus couldn't play. Good for them. That's cute. So onesubstantial.com, go put your email address in.
That's it.
And you'll get on the list. I want 2, Galen, and I'll pay for this one if I didn't pay for it.
My man.
GoCougs.com on YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I think we're broadcasting on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure how that works.
Ryan, you cold-blooded with this, though.
What does that mean? Cold-blooded.
Good. Yeah, you're good at this.
How does that doing the show or just
this technology stuff? Like you got.
I'm really not.
Well, you could have fooled me, brother.
The funny thing is that I am absolutely terrible with technology, and when there's a problem, it takes me like 10 times longer than anybody else to fix it. But trying.
Hey man, you're like a good coach, man. You profess your strengths and you hide your weaknesses. I would have thought you were great.
There you go. Galen Robinson, technology master, telling you that I'm good at technology. Let's just take one little look. Oh, Andy's still here. They've obviously stopped. They're not doing the show anymore. They've quit. Chris Gardner's there. Andy Yanas.
Shout out Chris Gardner.
Love Chris Gardner. Shout
out Chris Gardner, man.
They've quit. They're not even doing the show anymore, and that's terrible. So we're going to quit too. And thank y'all so much for watching. Oh my God, you are so pathetic. We're going to turn your screen off, Starnes. I don't want that guy on our show. Andy, love that kid. Thanks so much for watching, for being with us. This is our last real thing in 2023. We're going to have something tomorrow about this game on GoCougs.com. But then we're kind of done. And then we go into 2024 full steam. We are going to be bigger than we've ever been. We are doing more than anybody's ever done on U of H, ever. And it's going to be even more in 2024. Well, that rhymed.
Right.
So thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next year. Starnes, Galen, thank y'all so much. onesubstantial.com. Or just go to merch.gocougs.com and get you some lesser clothes. You know, they're fine, they're nice, but they're not Galen stuff. Where did it go? We're gonna pimp something real quick. There we go. Merch.gocougs.com. Whatever. Thanks so much. Go Cougs. One substantial. Daily Cougar. Doing more in 2024.